welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another video where I use random objects around my house to recommend you books. Now, I've done a recommending you books on my pencils once before, and we got like a really interesting mix of pencils in that we got like dinosaurs and Gibraltar and other fun things like that. But I'm really excited because, as you can see, I've still got loads. And what I really like about doing this type of video in particular is it's kind of like my wrap up where I don't know what I'm going to be recommending to you before I actually pick out a pencil. But I've got so many great books behind me that I can't wait to tell you about them. And I'm going to use this as a cunning ploy to tell you to go out and read these books. So let's go. First pencil. And as you can see, we've got a whole second jar, so we could do this for days, but I am just going to pick 5. First pencil is going to be a Natural History Museum pencil. Nice and minimalist and sensible. I'm going to go for A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brenner, which is really just absolutely spot on and topical, because if you've seen the news recently, you will know that a natural history GCSE has just been launched by the Education Department. So very excited for this. A Natural History of Dragons is about a young woman who is just obsessed with dragons, loves dragons, wants to study dragons, and she marries the right man who allows her to go and do that, and she starts travelling places to go and observe dragons and learning about how they work and why they work, and they are very much treated in the same way that like wild animals and natural history is. I really like that this is quite a cottagecore, dark academia or light academia style. It's very academic based, like she is a scientist at heart, even in a world which is a kind of alternative Victorian England, a world where that is just not acceptable for women. I really liked that. I also like that it's a series. I like that I've got book 3 ready and waiting on my shelves. I'm just really enamored with this series, and what a perfect recommendation. I just feel like that I'm not going to get one better than this. I've peaked with book 1, A Natural History of Dragons, for my Natural History Museum pencil. Okay, next. So next is a University of Harvard pencil. I don't know if I have any books set at Harvard. I don't think I do directly, but what I do have are some really great dark academia books to recommend. So let's have a little think. I don't feel like I should recommend Ninth House because it's set at Yale, not Harvard, and that feels a bit Ivy League-y comparison to make. But I've got other dark academias that I could recommend. My go-to thought is probably Catherine House, because I haven't had an opportunity to talk about that in ages. What other dark academias do I have? No, I think I was right with my first choice. I think it's going to have to be Catherine House. Like I said, I have not had an opportunity to talk about this book in ages, and it is one of my favourite dark academias. Catherine House is a university somewhere in the US. It's very oblique as to where that could be. I don't know if oblique's the right word. Opaque? Obscure. Some word beginning with O is where this place is. And you've got these main characters who are very fluid in how they treat people, very like guilt-ridden, but kind of avoiding it through very bad toxic behaviour. Something is in the walls, something's in the wallpaper, very decadent, slow burn writing. But this feels like a fever dream. It feels like an old school gothic, but in the way that it's like dreamlike, feverish, weird stuff's happening and you don't really know what's going on, but you just kind of are along for the ride. This is one of those books where nothing happens, and I loved it anyway. Like, it's such a clever book in the way that it's written. Really beautifully written. But essentially, Catherine House is a university where no one really knows what's going on there. The subjects that you're studying are very, not controversial, but just kind of like out there. Doesn't feel like a real academic style, but very highbrow, high league. Students do not make it out alive type vibe. So if you're looking for like a really twisted, insidious dark academia where you're not really sure what's going on, almost like Piranesi style, like what's happening here, maze like, would recommend. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, number 3. Didn't manage to catch that. So this one, this is a blue pencil that I got from the Maldives. This was gifted to me by one of the students that I worked with. And I feel like instinctively I would go for the Deep, but I don't know if I still have the copy of that. So I'm just going to look and see if I've got any other water-based books. Because I know for a fact I do not have like specifically fishy books. I may have something that's kind of like Indonesia island vibes. I feel like maybe I could go for Blackwater Sister for that reason. But do I have something more specific? Okay, so instead of going for Blackwater Sister, what I have gone for is the illustrated copy of Jessie Burton's Medusa. I really, really liked the way that this was explored. There are trigger warnings for sexual assault, but the way the siblings, the way the sisters kind of corral each other, the really like interesting plot twist, the way it's kind of subverted from the original myth, I really, really liked. The reason I've gone for it with the fish is the fact that she is on this island, she meets a fisherman, things go wrong. But it's that type of energy where it's the coastal island isolation is a reflection of safety more than anything else. And I think with conservation being such a massive thing out in the Maldives at the moment, I feel like that was the thing that like triggered this response. I feel like the idea that it's island, like I couldn't really go just straight up fish. Like I wasn't. There's books that I definitely could have. I've got Pod here, but I haven't read it yet. So I feel like I don't want to recommend it. Whereas this one I'm actually really, really comfortable recommending, but with you being forewarned to go in heavily looking at the trigger warnings. If you know anything about the Medusa myth, you will understand why. And if you don't, forewarned is forearmed, in my opinion. Okay, number 4. So this is a pencil that says Madeira on it. I've not actually been. This is a pencil that was gifted to me, and it is really, really colourful in the way that it's all like different colours. So I feel like what I'm looking for is an LGBT book that was gifted to me. Because even though I've not been to Madeira, I feel like maybe foreign setting, LGBT read gifted to me, and I have one that has immediately come to mind if I can find it. Where are you? I know I have you. I know you're here somewhere. Okay. LGBT, foreign setting, foreign author as well, book that is also LGBT and historical and just all of those great things. Gifted to me by Abby from Abbey of Pelennor. Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe is a historical fiction looking at an LGBT character as she explores her sexuality in a time when that is not acceptable. She starts visiting this club called the Telegraph Club with her potential girlfriend. Things work, things don't work. It has sad moments. I will absolutely say it is moments of homophobia. And the sun's gone in again. Today was not the day for filming. Okay, I guess we'll just have to continue in the dark. Okay, so one of the things I really, really liked about this is the fact that it very much tries to lean into as much of a positive ending as it can with this trauma being dumped from a height. I also really, really enjoyed that we have multiple perspectives in this. We can kind of see how the intergenerational trauma is also impacted. The idea of family and honour in an Asian family is represented. Racism comes up a lot. And it's just a really sad, really beautiful book with actually quite a nice, happy ending. And I really appreciated that. But also thanks to Abby for recommending it to me. Now you need to read it. Okay, last one. Okay, so what it looks like it says is Lecoq. What it actually says is Laycock. Laycock is a castle or old house that they used for filming Harry Potter and a bunch of other really beautiful period dramas. And now it's too sunny. So whilst I am not going to recommend the Harry Potter books, just because they were filmed there, I'm not going to recommend a turf. What I am going to do is look for another book that has an old historical building in it and is used for like magic and stuff like that, because I feel like that would be easier and make me feel better. I feel like Catabasis could work in the fact that it's got that kind of like historical, like Cambridge type vibe, but Laycock is in Wiltshire, so we're looking for more like Bath and like sandstone buildings. I mean, I could just go straight up Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, any of those that are Jane Austen specific. Or Or, yes, great recommendation, Jane Austen inspired, but I'm going to go for The Other Bennet Sister by Janice Hadlow, which is the spin-off of Mary's story from Pride and Prejudice. Now, the reason this links to that is because she actively goes and visits old houses, she spends time with her family, she visits Bath, she visits London, she visits the Peaks, like she goes and does a lot of travelling and self-exploration. She is a chunky girly, the book specifically, because I really, really like the fact that she really like leans into her own special interests. We love a girl with a hobby. We love a girl with a hobby. So yes, I think my recommendation would be this. If you like historical fiction, if you like it more gentle, this is also a romance. This is also a BBC adapted TV show now as well. Absolutely would recommend the book. Absolutely would recommend the book. I haven't seen the show, but I've heard really, really good things. I will get to it, but I want to reread this first. And it was kind of one of my 5-star rereads that I had planned for early in the year and I've just not had time to get to. So I will get time, I will make time to get to it. And in the meantime, I can recommend it to you to go out and read it on my behalf. So there you go. There are 5 books that I would recommend based on 5 pencils in my pencil collection. There are still quite a few to go. So I will do another video like this soon. I might do what I did last time and give it 6 months, but we shall see. But let me know in the comments down below, are there any of these books that you're more intrigued to pick up now that you've heard my thoughts on them? If you want to just let me know we're here, feel free to leave a little fish emoji. Treat yourself to something from Waypoint Books because it supports me in my content. Check out the links down below because I've got a Patreon now. And most importantly, have a nice day.